Okay, fine. The next process that we're going to take into consideration is the oogenesis. So the question that comes into our mind is, what is oogenesis? Oogenesis is a process where an haploid ovum is formed from an egg mother cell. So what is the egg mother cell called as? Egg mother cell is called as oo
Ogoni.
Ogonium. So the first process in cases, here also we have three important phases: multiplication phase, growth phase, and the maturation phase. So first we're going to start with the multiplication phase. So we have an important cell. This cell is called as the egg mother cell or oogonium. We have an egg mother cell or we have oogonium. The oogonium undergoes rapid division and they increase in number. They undergo rapid division and they will increase in number. All these are nothing but oogonium. So I just erase this because I need a lot of spaces for this. So this is called as the oogonium. The entire things, all these are called as oogonium. And the body of oogonium is diploid. So in multiplication phases, oogoniums are multiplied. So it's called multiplication phase. Okay, fine. I'm not going to give you the basics because all this when I'm teaching you will introduce all the basics for you. Then we can go for the actual informations. Now each and every oogonium after a certain amount of growth period or multiplication, they'll stop for the division and they get transformed to a large cell. They get transformed into a large cell. This is called as your primary oocyte. This is called as your primary oocyte. Where do all these events are occurring means all these events are occurring in your fetal life. That means when you are there in the mother's womb, all these events are occurring. So this event is occurring in your fetal life. Therefore, you are born. So birth is occurring. So from where is oogenesis is initiated means oogenesis is initiated right from the birth itself when the umbilical form or you can say that the placenta is formed. When the placenta is formed, it's nothing but the chorionic building of the fetus and the endometrial lining of the mother. Both of them will join together. They form a structure called placenta. So when the placenta is formed itself, millions of oogoniums are already added. So no more oogonium or no more primary oocytes are added. No more oogonium or no more primary oocytes are added after your birth. Until unless the placenta is embedded, the newly that is the female fetus will borrow millions of oogonium and primary oocytes from the mother. No more extra thing is added. Now, what is the next important process? The next important process is nothing but each and every primary oocytes undergo their meiotic division. And here the meiotic division is meiotic equal division is unequal division. They undergo meiotic division which is unequal. It means meiotic asymmetrical division 1. There it was meiotic symmetrical division 1. Here it is meiotic asymmetrical division. As a result, one small structure and one large structure is formed. This one is called as first polar body. This one is called as the first polar body. After the result of meiotic division 1, what is formed means we get another important structure that is called as your secondary oocyte. Okay. Whereas all these events occurring which I have mentioned here, that means this is occurring in childhood. Why, sir? Only arrow marks are there. Meiotic division is there, sir. Why secondary oocyte is not formed? Secondary oocyte is released only during puberty. The girl may be the age of 13 or 14, she may attain the age of puberty. So only at puberty only the secondary oocyte is released. After that, the oocyte means okay, that is only in the puberty stage, the secondary oocytes are released. The secondary oocyte undergo the next division. The next division is also meiosis, and this meiosis is an equal division, but the symmetry is meiotic to unequal division or meiotic to asymmetrical division. As a result, we get one more small structure like this. This is called as second polar body, and we get one more structure here that is called as ooted. The ooted will transform into a mature ova that is called as a ovum. It will transform into a ovum. Therefore, oogonium is diploid, primary oocyte is diploid, secondary oocyte is haploid, ooted also is a haploid, ovum is also haploid. Now the question I'm going to ask is, a women will release during their ovulatory phase in the menstrual cycle, will they release ovum, ooted, secondary oocyte? Option A ovum, option B ooted, option C secondary oocyte. Which can be the right
Secondary
answer?
oocyte.
Which can be the right answer?
Secondary oocyte.
Secondary oocyte. But check your NCRT, they are given ovum. Check your modern ABC of biology, they are given as ooted. Check Pradeep biology, they are given ooted. Where just now I went through some other books also, like some authors, and in that they have given a secondary oocyte. So what is actually, sir? For that I have to discuss something about follicular development. After puberty, this occurs in their adult life. So, in your book also or NCRT, if you go to IGCSE or any number of books, they will say that during ovulation, ovum is released. This is what we have learned, but actually, ovum is not at all released. Only at the time of fertilization, only we can call anything as ovum. So that's why fertilization is a process where sperm and ovum is joined. Ovulation is a process where secondary oocyte or oocyte is removed. Or question I'm going to give. Secondary oocyte or an oocyte is released. Only when the sperm enters only some division is occurring here. So there are some important events to know about here. So in multiplication phases, the oogonium will multiply. At the end of multiplication phases, no more further oogonium will divide, they will transform to a primary oocyte. And this transformation area is called as your growth phase. And this phase is called as your maturation phase. Same like the spermatogenesis, all three phases are there here. So this is called as the maturation phases. So here, millions of oogoniums are formed. Though millions of oogoniums are formed, then they among them few of them get transformed into a primary oocyte. Few of them get transformed into a primary oocyte. Now, no more primary oocyte or oogonium are added after the birth. That means through the placenta, millions of oogoniums are added to the newly born fetus. Now, when the baby is born now, the baby is giving up, when the baby is born at childhood, there is no transformation of primary oocyte into a secondary oocyte. That means there is some line simply are given, there is nothing is occurring here. That is called follicular atresia, I'll be teaching you all. And when she able to attain the puberty, when hormone level everything is maintained, that means the meiotic one asymmetrical division occurs. When meiotic one asymmetrical division occurs, results in the formation of first polar body and one secondary oocyte. This polar body also divides by undergoes the next division and forms the other two polar bodies also. This secondary oocyte undergoes meiotic II division, which is also an asymmetrical division, results in the formation of small second polar body and one ooted. Totally, first polar body also will undergo division. So there are three polar bodies and one ooted is formed. This ooted transforms to a ova. That means here what stage they will get arrested. So now nothing is arrested occurring here. Why? Because in this stages, meiotic one is arrested. That means the primary oocyte get in this stages. An important event is the cells will get arrested at meiotic division number. That means meiotic one is not completed in childhood. Next, secondary oocyte transforms to a ooted, ooted to ovum. Why there is some division? Here the ooted, when you check here, the ooted will get arrested at the meiotic division number. That means meiotic 1 division is incomplete in childhood and meiotic 2 is incomplete in the ooted. Only when sperm enters, only we get a haploid ovum. So this is a schematic representation of a oogenesis. Any doubt in this stages? This I'm going to explain you now. What is occurring in childhood separately, I'll be explaining you now. Any doubt in the process of oogenesis?
No, sir.
Any doubt? There is no doubt. I'll go for the follicular development. There is no doubt. Primary oocyte, secondary oocyte, ooted ovum. So this is what you should know. Primary oocyte, secondary oocyte, a stage called follicular aplasia. So next, I'm going to teach you about the follicular development. In this one day, you may have lot of doubts. I'll take it a simple way by which you can understand. If you still have a doubts, you can please inform me. I'll take the classes once again for you. Nothing to worry about it. Okay, next is I'm going to take about follicular development. So what is follicular development? So I'm going to teach you something about the follicular development. So what are the various events that is going to occur in the follicular development? So we have all the follicles. The follicles will secrete a hormone called as estrogen that we have focused on the last class. How does the follicular development takes place? First, when you look about them, we have something called primordial follicle. I'll just give the stages, then we'll go with the diagram. The primordial follicle transforms into a primary follicle. The primary follicle transforms into an next important structure. The next important structure is called as your secondary follicle. Secondary follicle. The secondary follicle transforms into an tertiary follicle. This we have seen in the transfer section of an ovary. We have seen the tertiary follicle transforms to a Graafian follicle. Now, leave about the primary follicle. In the primary follicle, we have the primary oocyte. The secondary follicle, we have the primary oocyte. The tertiary follicle, we will be having the primary oocyte. The primary oocyte gets transformed into a secondary oocyte. In the Graafian follicle, the secondary oocyte get transformed into an oocyte. That means the Graafian follicle can release the secondary oocyte or Graafian follicle can release the oocyte, but it's not the ovum. Now this is your primordial cells, children. They may have a small vacuolar cells with an important cell outside. This is called as granulosa. A layer called granulosa layer is there. This will transform into the next important structure called as your primary follicle. So this will be our primary follicle, and we got a color chalk also to highlight the important things. Okay. They get surrounded by another important layer. So this layer is called as primary follicle. This one enclosed here is called as your primary oocyte, covered by a single layer, that is your primary follicular cells. This will again get transformed into a next important structure with and secondary oocyte in the center, sorry, primary oocyte in the center, and enclosed by further layers of cells. I'll draw the cells over here. Okay, this one is again your primary follicle. This is your secondary follicular cells, and secondary follicular cells transforms to a tertiary follicular cells. In tertiary follicular cells, the same structure only I am going to present here. What is the signifying feature means? You can see a small vacuolar part will be there in this, and after the small vacuolar part in this, we'll be having another somewhat some layers with lot of group of cells which are occupied outside. Graphene follicle separately I'll draw it. I won't draw it now because lot of labelings are there which I have to give it here. Okay, this one is nothing but your primary or secondary oocyte. Generally, it will be passed in primary oocyte, and then it will be transformed into a secondary oocyte, which goes to your graphene follicles. So these are the follicular development which we go to talk about, where we have some layers called theca externa, theca interna. All this I'll be handling it separately. Now, what will occur? The primary follicular, or you can say all this we have a pre-antral stage and antral stage, we call them as so this one, the transformation from tertiary follicle to graphene follicle, that is called as your antral phase. It is called as your antral phase. Why I'm calling antral phase means here a cavity called antrum is commonly seen, so we want to call them as antral phase. The stage from primordial follicle to secondary follicle, this is called as pre-antral phase. That means no antral cavity can be seen. The stage where an antral cavity is formed is called as primary follicle. In maturation stages, the antrum will be larger, will be a little bit bigger in size. There will be having the secondary oocyte. Now the question is, what will occur? Why most of the primary oocytes are not transformed to a secondary oocyte means the primary follicle enclosing the primary oocyte, secondary follicle enclosing the primary oocyte, both of them what will occur means in both of them will get degenerated. Both of them will get degenerated. This condition is called as follicular atresia. Now I can ask a simple question to understand about follicular atresia. So we have the oogonium. How many oogonium is received from the mother? In thousands or in millions?
Million.
It is received in millions. Oogonium or primary oocyte. Okay. The primary oocyte transforming to a secondary oocyte, and secondary oocyte transforms to ootid or ovum. Now tell me, a girl is attaining puberty at the age of 15 and menopause at the age of 45. So she's able to spend 30 years of her reproductive phases. In that per month, one egg. So per year, 12 eggs. So what is 30 into 12?
360.
So around 360. That means I can say only few hundreds, though millions of eggs are released, few hundreds are only left. Few hundreds are only left. Few hundreds are only left. So why here millions are there? Why few hundreds are there means because this is there before the birth. After birth, no more primary oocyte or oogonium is added. Only secondary oocyte alone is released. So most of the primary oocyte get transformed into a secondary oocyte. But in this cases, most of the oocytes will not get transformed into a secondary oocyte. Since the primary follicle enclosing the primary oocyte, secondary follicle enclosing the primary oocyte, tertiary follicle enclosing the primary or mostly the secondary oocyte. So in this, most of the primary follicles and secondary follicles will not transform into a tertiary follicle when the woman is in childhood. Only at puberty, what is released? Secondary
oocyte.
oocyte is released at the puberty. So from birth till puberty, this childhood period. In this childhood period, most of the primary oocytes will not get transformed into the secondary oocyte. So primary and secondary follicle they get degenerated. That is called as follicular atresia. As a result of follicular atresia, as a result of follicular atresia, what will occur means most of the primary oocytes are not transformed to a secondary oocyte. That's why, though we are getting millions of oogonium from the mothers, only few hundreds or eggs are released because most of them are degenerating. You got the point? You got the point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I have to show you the structure of Graafian follicle. Can I go with the structure of Graafian follicle? Any doubt
Yes,
in
sir.
this? Any doubt in this? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, there's no doubt. Then I'll proceed with the structure of the Graafian follicle. Why I'm saying Graafian follicle structure means because you should know, you all came to know that it is not ovum because oocyte are arrested at the meiotic phase number 2. So the meiotic phase number 2 has to get completed. So only when the meiotic phase 2 gets completed then only we get a ovum. So only at the time of fertilization, the oocyte transforms into a ovum. Therefore, secondary oocyte or oocyte is alone released from the Graafian follicle. Now I'll be asking, okay, now we'll go for the next concept. Next concept is the structure of Graafian follicle. Structure of Graafian follicle. It will take only 10 minutes because lunchtime I know you all may be very tired, so I won't trouble you too much. Okay. So they may get organized into various types of layers. Okay, this is the first important layer. I'm going to give it now. Okay, this is the first important structure. So they have an outer layer called as theca externa, and inner layer is called as theca interna. Next, surrounding here, we have a lot of cells here. So what are these cells? Okay, we have many layers of cells here. So I'll draw the cells. Maybe about 15 layers can be seen. That's why I went through a literature. In that they are given that more than 15, not less than 15, but I'm not going to draw all the 15 layers now. What is this layer? This layer is called as membrana granulosa. This is called as membrana granulosa. Next, we'll be having one important structure here. This cavity is called as antral cavity. This cavity is called as the antral cavity. The antral cavity will store a lot of fluid also in them. So what is the fluid called as? Liquor folliculi. Liquor. Liquor folliculi. It's a fluid which is stored here. And this is nothing but an important layer. This is called as corona radiata. Corona radiata. Then one more layer will be there here. Zona pellucida. Egg membranes. Then vitelline membrane. These are the egg membrane. Where corona radiata is derived from what layer? Corona radiata is derived from which layer?
Grass.
Yeah, that is graphene follicle. That is the follicular cells. Therefore, corona radiata is called as the secondary egg membrane, and zona pellucida is called as the primary egg membrane because it is secreted by our human ovum itself. Next, you will be having the egg nucleus. And here there is one neck-like structure which is arising from the graphene follicle, which is able to hold the ova. This one is called as discus proliguris. It's called as discus proliguris. So this is the structure of graphene follicle. So at the time of ovulation, the graphene follicle will rupture and they will release the ovum along with the corona radiata, which is the layer of the follicular cells. So this is the structure of graphene follicle. Okay, sir. Why I'm not giving this egg of ovum means here, though it is the structure of an ovum, but actually it is a wounded, or rarely it is a secondary oocyte. Mostly it will be an wounded. So most of the books they will give you only ovum, but it's not actually ovum. But we are going to learn as ovum in the examination. But it's not actually the ovum. It is the secondary oocyte or the wounded. Only at the time of fertilization, only we're going to call it as ovum. Since in graphene follicle is there inside the ovary, so definitely fertilization is not possible. You can go with voted or secondary oocyte. Any doubt in the structure of graphene follicle? Any doubt? Any doubt in the structure of graphene follicle? If there's no doubt, children, then I have to proceed with the next important